Okay, wait. What's that quote again, and who is it by?
Quotes by Harvey Mackay, and he says, "A dream is just a dream. A goal is a dream with a plan and a deadline."
Aha. Welcome to the Conquer Life podcast, hosted by the coolest dynamic duo husband and wife team since Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv, Corey and Topanga, and even George and Weezy. Bringing you life experience, knowledge, wisdom, and insight to help you in your own life journey. This is the Conquer Life podcast with Trey and Autumn Hollis. Episode 19. The Conquer Life Podcast. Countdown. 4 episodes, including this one, until 2016. Are you ready?
Welcome back. We're already at episode 19. I cannot believe this.
I know. I wish you would speak up louder.
Shut up.
That's a goal. We're going to have you speak up louder. That's one of our goals for 2016. Autumn is going to speak louder.
You know what? You better be nice.
I am.
But before we get on to goals,
yeah,
do highs and lows?
Yeah, we'll do highs and lows. You want to start or should I?
Go ahead and start, because I normally start.
Okay. All right.
Switch it up a little bit.
High, a very big and awesome high for me this week was that I got the opportunity to guest lecture for a college course in the program that we also graduated from, well, for undergrad, that is, on this one. It was the Exploring Consulting Skills in HRD and OD course, and that's Human Resources Development and Organizational Development. And I just really thought that it was cool. I felt in place. You know, I'm long gone from the days of being nervous, to speak in front of a class or crowd or anything like that. Especially since we're getting into speaking and things of that nature. But it was just really neat to impart some of the wisdom and knowledge and understanding that you and I have gained since our days in undergrad to a new undergrad class who the majority of the students, I think all except for one, will be graduating this Saturday. And I think one of the really cool parts, and I'm just going to kind of draw out this high real quick. One of the really cool parts was the fact that I actually produced a lesson plan for that evening.
You were prepared. I
was prepared, yes.
Wow.
And the preparation included, setting up, okay, we're going to start, and I'm going to tell a little bit about myself, my story, my journey, which included my wife, Autumn here. And from there, of course, once I got done with that portion, I asked if anybody had any questions for me, and a few students did. So, I fielded the questions, and then from there, I think we had a book report, the final book report from a student in the course. So that student gave their book report. Then we went to break. And after break, we got into a course, because this was the final course, obviously, since they are graduating this weekend. We had a course wrap-up. And I had some questions to kind of prompt some really good thinking and recollection and reflection of the course. What is your biggest takeaway from the course? How will you implement some of the things that you learned into your career, your life, etc.? And I think the other one was why. Why do you think that consulting skills are good for regular employees to have, as well as people who are going to be starting their own business? And to be honest, I think that a lot of the students answered all three questions just from the first prompt. And I was like, okay, they're thinking, they're really reflecting upon their journey in this course. So from there, what did we do? We had, like I said, during the break, we ate and stuff like that, and then we went into we kind of broke down some of the issues with consulting and what a good consultant will do. And it's not about the money. It's more so about truly creating a collaborative effort between the consultant and the client, because a consultant who's just chasing the money, they're not going to truly serve their client to the utmost degree.
No, they're going to put a Band-Aid on it to a certain level, so you keep on calling them back. But if they're really interested in it, they're going to find that root cause to really transform.
And that's exactly what we talked about, because the Band-Aid consultant is just there to throw a quick solution on the problem or issues that the client or organization is having, whereas the effective consultant, the good consultant, as I put it, will actually go in and partner with their client, and they become invested as if it were their company or their organization, and they are going to equip the client with the knowledge, the training, and the tools that are necessary for the client to stave off those issues from popping up again. I remember one of the greatest things that my professor told me when I went through that same course was, your job as a consultant is to put yourself out of work with that client. And what that simply means is you want to do so well of a job that they look up and say, you know what? We really don't need your services anymore. But you know what happens is, long term, that client, whenever they come across another organization or business, because it's all a network and people know people, they will refer you to their friends, their business partners, their other colleagues with organizations, and say, hey, oh yeah, you're having that problem? Well, guess what? Hey, let me give you this card. This couple, this group, this person helped me out with our problem. I guarantee you they can help you out with yours as well. So again, that was my greatest high, was just being able to impart that knowledge upon them. And then I think we finished out the course with we watched a video, The Prophet, with Marcus Lemonis. And I will get into some other stuff with that, because I'm going to announce the last few episodes that we have coming up for 2015. My low this week, I'm getting over a sinus infection. All of our lows are like, oh, the kids are sick, or I'm sick, or so this week it's me. I'm getting over a sinus infection from last week. Other than that, honestly, everything's been like A1. I'm happy. I'm fulfilled, and we're trucking along. We are meeting our goals. Your turn, highs and lows.
My actual high came today. I was working, and I got an email, and you ever see those phishing emails to where they're like, Amazon has sent you a gift card.
Yeah.
And I was just like, and it was by one of it seemed to be by one of the instructors that I work with in dealing with the dual enrollment program. And so I'm looking at this email, and I'm clicking on his name to see if his actual email will pop up, or is this like tsw@sceu.e, whatever the case may be. And I'm like, no. So I open it, And I'm scrolling down, and it's like, no, it's an actual gift card, and it had a note at the bottom, and it was just, appreciation, letting me know that he's grateful for all the stuff that I've helped him out with, and their specific school that we have the agreement with. And it made me smile. It really did, because it was something that was unexpected. I've worked with a gentleman for the past couple years, and it was just nice. It was nice to feel appreciated.
Those are awesome times when a client and in this case, even though we work for an organization in our regular 9-to-5s, that individual is a client of yours.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And to get that appreciation, that's an awesome feeling. So kudos to you for that.
Thank you. Low. From last week to this week, to be honest with you, I don't have one.
Well, check you out.
No, I don't know if maybe something has clicked in my head recently, but I'm not allowing things to try to take me to a low. So maybe mindset shift, gearing up, getting ready for the new year. I can't explain it, but I guess just truly being grateful. You don't come across lows, or they don't register.
No, I agree. I will say this. Let me add on to my low. We finished the Spartacus series.
That was sad.
It was sad. I mean, I know the history of Spartacus, and I know what happened, but to see it played out in film, it was just like, oh man, to see them all perish one by one, and it was. Oh.
Yeah, watch Gannicus fall. I expected it from Crixus. That's what happens. But saying goodbye to that
series.
And that whole emptiness of the Netflix pit of emptiness.
Mm-hmm. So we have to find a new series now, I guess. I have one, but we'll get into that on a different, because it's deep, it's psychological, it's trippy. Okay, well, like I said, I'm going to announce the last few episodes that we have for 2015. Pay attention. Tonight, or today, as you're listening to this, we're talking goal setting. And that's December 9th when this releases. We're going to get into SMART goals and some other types of goals. December 16th, Wednesday, of course, because as you should know by now, the new schedule is all new episodes released on Wednesdays. Lessons from Marcus Lemonis and the Prophet. That's going to be a good episode, because we've been we caught up with the latest season, and we have a lot to talk about there. I saw you grinning. What you got to say?
You got done with that. That's it. The only thing was Coming to America. That boy good. I couldn't hold it in.
Yeah, I mean, as I explained to the class when I was doing the guest lecture thing, I think that Autumn and I are like business nerds. We totally study business, and we watch these business shows, and we get a thrill out of that. Some people watch other reality shows like Housewives and never mind, I'm not even gonna go any further. But so I mean, we like business shows where you can gain knowledge, not just
junk
nonsense. We gain knowledge. So we have a few great tidbits on the Marcus Lemonis and the Prophet show, and that's December 16th. December 23rd, which is my birthday, I'm going to be the big 39. I'm not afraid to say my age, 39. And I know I don't look it. I look like I'm like 25. On December 23rd, we are going to get into how to impact the world through courage, authenticity, vulnerability, and grit. That's going to be an epic episode. That's pretty cool. Epic episode. Yeah. A little bit of alliteration, kind of something like that.
Alliteration?
And then finally, the final show of 2015. And we've been plugging at this since July, I believe, is when we went back to kind of look at how long we've been doing this. December 30th, Wednesday, out with the old, in with the new. Celebrate 2015, gear up for 2016. And this show tonight is kind of a precursor. We're jumping the gun a little bit to kind of look towards 2016, and we're talking goals, like we said.
Well, you have to do that a little back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that, some weeks back, because you kind of want to have that already in your radar.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be able to somewhat get your mind right. You don't want to creep up and say, oh, it's New Year's Eve, let me think of what I want my goals to be.
Here's some resolutions.
No, some planning has to go into effect.
Yeah, and some thought.
Yeah. Well, I hope you're planning, otherwise you're not going to have a good plan.
I hope so. Oh, wow. Okay, so let's get into this show right here. So let me go on over here to a window that I have open.
Looks like some SMART goals there.
SMART goals. Those are SMART goals.
Now, I have to say that before you mentioned this, I did not know what SMART goals were.
Well, I knew what they were, but I never really drilled into the acronym. For the audience, you want to trade off on these?
Yeah, if I can actually see your screen.
Hold on. Let me rotate this. Hold on. All right, is that better?
Yeah.
All right, go for it.
S stands for specific. So you can ask yourself, what do you want to achieve in the area of focus?
It says in your area. Okay, never mind. Focus your mind.
Shut up.
M, meaningful. Why is this goal important to you?
Then your A is action-oriented. What steps will you take to achieve it?
Very important. R, realistic. How do you know that you can achieve this goal?
And T, timely. But when do you want to achieve this goal? Give it a time, a deadline. By when? Dude, I can't read. That's why.
You can read.
No, I prefer audiobooks. And numbers. I'm good with numbers.
You are very good with numbers. All right, so yeah, let's backtrack. Let's go back to S, specific. Well, wait a minute. Before we even get into that, why are goals important?
Well, why do we have maps?
Oh, why do we have maps? Well, you have to know where you're going. You have to figure out where you're going. But guys, I don't need a map. Where's a map for? I know where I'm going. You see the road sign? We're right on track.
Exactly. You have to have some type of destination that you're working toward. Otherwise, then you're that potato on the hamster wheel, spinning around.
She's referring to a potato on a hamster wheel, which is in one of the videos where we talk about how it works, how the Conquer Life mindset works. And so you'll just have to tune in to the website when we announce it. You have to check out that video. Okay, so getting back on track.
Well, I actually want to discuss something even that we started to do last year.
Okay.
That changed my mindset on writing down goals.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's really important to share, because I was not one to, I'd always have goals and expectations that I might want to meet for the new year. But, last year around this time, we actually sat down and we wrote out specific goals
Go.
And I honestly think that something happened. I can't really explain it, but taking the time to actually sit there and write them out, it was more of a visual effect that it was like I was etching it on paper. I was committing myself to that new year. At that time, we, dealing with being pregnant with the fourth child, there was trying to get the book done, as well as get a new vehicle to be able to lug all these Hollises around. And we just had a lot of expectations. Those were just, a few to name. And it was funny that once the new year popped off, it was like we were going. And these goals started to manifest in front of us. And because we were staying on track and we were staying committed, even if the time had to increase, like he was talking about, a little bit, if you don't meet your deadline, keep on going after it. One or two goals, that happened with the book. I wanted to get it done before the baby came. I know you wanted to get it done by January.
Yeah.
It ended up happening before the baby came, but we got that off our plate, and then something else evolved.
Yeah.
The lovely podcast.
Yeah.
So it was neat to be able to witness all of that, and that's why I think now it is something that is so crucial in getting yourself ready for the next year. Because again, going back to paper, there's something about it that really puts your focus into work.
I think, okay, going back to the whole when we did our goal setting, we had also one of our best friends here with us, and we had him write down his goals as well. John, you better be listening. We got very specific, and in without really knowing that we were operating within a SMART goal setting tactic, we were doing it.
Yeah.
We got very specific with what we wanted. Okay. As you heard her mention, she was pregnant with our fourth child, and you were just a few months at that point. But I mean, we knew we had a smaller car. We had a car. And as you know, with cars, you have 3 in the back, passenger seat, and the driver. So that's only 5 seats. Okay, but our family was about to jump up to, hey, we needed at least 6 seats. So what does that mean? Okay, well, we could jump into minivan territory.
No. Sorry, that's never going to happen.
Yeah, she hates minivans.
I'm against minivans.
But we love the SUVs and the larger SUVs. And so we were really contemplating a Ford Expedition. But
at the time.
Yeah, at the time. But as the course, went about, and based upon financing and what we could get, it was like, well, we're not finding any expeditions within our range of what we wanted, as far as style and bonus features and all that fun stuff. So we ended up getting a Tahoe. And the funny part with all that was I set a goal when I was probably, 19, 20. I said, one day, I will drive a Chevy Tahoe. And sure enough, it came down to it. And we got a Tahoe.
And there was like angel sounds. It was like,
oh. Gregorian chants and stuff. But yeah, I mean, we noticed how important it was to write down those goals. That is really the first step in goal setting. Write them down. And see, many of you, if you're listening, you may say, oh, well, I already know this stuff. Oh, well, if you do, then are you writing down your goals? Because I'll tell you right now, I went years with that same attitude. Oh, I already know. Yeah, I don't need to write my goals down. I have them in my head.
I do the same thing.
And it's tougher. I mean, don't get me wrong. You can still stay on track when you have your goals in your mind. But it's a lot more tougher to truly meet them unless you write them down. See, when you write them down, you are taking a step toward committing to those goals.
Yeah, I think that's the very big difference, because goals that I've had for myself in the past have taken a long amount of time, because maybe it wasn't something that I was really pressing to.
Mm-hmm.
But everything that we had on our list for last year and more occurred because we took the time to write them down. Again, it was etched in stone for us at that point. It's like, this is what we have to do. And it was on the forefront of all the moves, all the actions that we had to take.
And that's extremely key. You have to write down your goals. Whether it's on a whiteboard with an expo marker that sits in front of your desk, whether it's in a Word document that you print out and staple to the wall, whatever it is, write those goals down. But before you do write those goals down, you have to make sure that they are SMART goals. Because, see, some people will say, oh, SMART goals, SMART goals. Yeah, well, as we have reflected on the SMART goals, they are very effective. And we're going to get back to this right now. Specific. What do you want to achieve in your area of focus? We focused on getting the new vehicle. We focused on getting the book done. We set a deadline for ourselves, and we'll talk about that deadline timeline part later. That's like the last thing, T for timely. But we had a focus on things that we wanted to achieve.
Yeah.
That's key. What do you want to achieve in your area of focus? Write it down. What do you want to achieve for 2016? Write it down. Right now. Grab a pen. Grab a piece of paper. Write it down. Yeah?
I hope they're writing. If they're
they
not,
better be. I'm not playing. See, I'm not doing. I mean, this is a free podcast. We put this out here for you, but I want to make sure that you all really understand and grasp these issues. I want to see people. I want people 5 years from now to say, you know what? It all began when I was listening to that Conquer Life podcast with Trey and Autumn Hollis. I mean, that really stuck. That really kind of made me think about some things, and golly, look where I am now. That's what I want. You know, that's what this is all about. Specific. Be specific in your goals.
It's a great opener to the next one, because that just sounded so M for meaningful.
Yeah.
Because it is. You know, but even if you're looking at your goals, if you're going to be specific about the things that you want to focus on that year, they have to be meaningful. Because if they don't mean anything to you, you're not going to put in the work and the time it takes to achieve them. So you have to ask yourself, why is this goal important to you? Why do you want it? You know, and whatever your answer is, that's for you to know. That's for you to go after. But you have to be honest with yourself and really, you know, be willing to look at what you want to achieve and say, you know, is this what I really want? Because no one wants to go after a goal that they're not really too concerned with. There's no kudos there. There's no sense of achievement.
Well, I mean, with this one, why is this goal important to you? Why is it meaningful to you? We talk about a concept in the book, and it has to do with, and this concept has to do with something that we call good ideas. Okay, don't chase good ideas. And what I mean by that is, Good ideas are those things where you get hyped up and it's like, oh, I can make some money from this. Yeah. No, 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 no. Because what's going to happen is you're going to pursue that goal and you're going to not like that goal later. Because it was a false sense of meaningfulness. It was chasing the money. There has to be some meaning behind your goal that has a fulfillment for yourself, maybe, or for the people that you may be serving, or for your family, and that would fall under the category of people that you're serving. You can't just, yeah, let's chase this goal. No, 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 no. Again, it has to hold a relevance, something that is meaningful for you. And I think that that's very, very, very key to attaining or achieving the goal that you set out for. So you have to really drill down to, why is this goal important to you? Now, that doesn't mean that whatever goal it is that you can't make money from it. If your goal is to increase your income in your company or organization that you work for, no problem. But again, make it meaningful. If your goal is to, increase your sales for something, why? For what purpose do you want to increase your sales? For what purpose do you want to increase your income? You have to have another goal behind that. Oh, well, I need to increase my income so that I can start this other thing over here, which is going to serve another purpose to help solve a problem for my family, or solve a problem for some other, demographic that I want to meet. Make sure that you have meaningfulness behind your goal.
Action-oriented is the next one for A. What steps will you take to achieve it? Extremely important, because that's your plan. That is helping you to navigate and kind of think ahead and kind of do a little bit of research into what is going to be necessary to get you from point A to point B to point Z. Now, oftentimes we fail to plan, we fail to prepare, and you can achieve so much more when you're actually proactive in a situation rather than being reactive.
Very true. Yeah, very true. I remember going through grad school, and I was kind of in the devil's advocate chair about the reactiveness of
always
something. Yeah, because it's like, I'm all for being proactive. Don't get me wrong. Nonetheless, I think that you should also have a healthy state of being able to react. Okay, when things change, or when something happens that was outside of your prospectus or outside of the plan, then you have to be able to adapt. And adaptation is a state of reacting. Okay, now, granted, you can be proactive and think of everything that you can, but I guarantee you that you can't think of everything possible that can happen. And that's the issue there. Now, as far as this one goes with action-oriented, what steps will you take? What is your strategy? What is the plan that you're going to put into place to achieve the goal that you've set forth? You want to start a business? Okay. What plan do you have? Hello, business plan. If you failed to plan, then you plan to
fail.
Bingo. What action will you take? What steps will you take to achieve your goal? That goes in the whole goal setting paradigm. And I know on the new upcoming website, we actually have a section of the website for free resources. And one of those free downloads is a goal setting worksheet. And that's one of the things it talks about. What is your action plan? Realistic? I guess it's my turn, huh?
Yeah, you keep on passing it to me.
My bad. Realistic. How do you know that you can achieve this goal? Okay. This is tricky because many people in the law of attraction and in other philosophies, they're going to tell you, don't worry about whether or not it's realistic. What is realistic? If someone tells you to be realistic, then you need to tell them everything is realistic. Well, okay, there's boundaries to that. Realistically, I can't go to the military. I can scratch that goal off my list that will never be attainable by myself simply because I already tried to go to the military when I was 18. I had childhood asthma, and that came out when they do the whole MEPS orientation thing, military entrance processing station, and they have this little Q&A session that you have to mark on this paper. And it was, I remember the representative was like, now this is where we get everybody. If you don't tell the truth, you can be punishable by a fine of $250,000 or up to 10 years in prison. And I mean, I don't know if that was the exact thing that he said, but it was along those lines. So that scared the hell out of me. All right. And I was like, yes, I have asthma. Even though it was childhood asthma, I don't even asthma. I don't deal with asthma nowadays. I think that I would have been a great recruit, especially since I had a 94 on the ASVAB. Air Force, you missed out. You missed out on a good one, good recruit. But no, I mean, seriously though, you have to think about what is realistic in your time frame and what you can do. If there's no obstacles that tell you, beyond your physicalities or beyond your age or something like that, there's nothing stopping you. You might be facing time, but that's something that you have to determine. And the real breakdown is something that I learned in a consulting class is rapid cycle projects. You set small goals within your SMART goal, but you set these small little stepping stones to get to your big picture. Whatever the case may be, you're making steps towards your big picture. So that's how you know that you can achieve the goal. That's the realistic part. It's doable. If you think that it's doable and there's no other, boundaries that hold you back, then you go for it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I also see it, it makes me think back to when we were doing the book. The original deadline we wanted to do in January. Mm-hmm. And just under the certain circumstances, the long hours, the long days, the long commutes home, being pregnant, and then spending hours in the evening trying to write, it wasn't realistic to have it done at the end of the month, even though we could have even pushed even harder than we did. It took time to craft. And so it was taking a look at it and say, let's recalculate and extend that out, because circumstances get in the way, things occur. Yeah. And that's not to say that you use them as an excuse, because some things you have to take care of.
And that's a great point, because you can either let circumstances dissuade you from your goal, or you can make a determination to overcome those circumstances so that you can continue to pursue your goal.
Exactly. Do you want to hit into timely?
Let's go.
All right. Timely. by when do you want to achieve this goal? You got to have some type of time frame. You have to have some type of deadline, or hope into putting yourself into that go mindset. Because without it, how long will it take you?
There's no urgency if you don't hold, a time frame.
None at all. And you have to be able to be aware of what is currently going on around you, the things that you might be dealing with, your certain types of schedules. How can I fit this in to dedicate some time every day, to achieving the goal that I want to go after, and be willing to try to stick to it as best as possible.
Yeah. I mean, being timely with your goals, let's put it this way. If you BS yourself and you say, oh, I'm going to give myself all of 2016 to achieve this. Oh, you're bullcrapping. No. You need to say the first quarter, I'm going to have this, and this done. All right. And you need to put 100% effort into doing so. You can't half-ass it. Because if you half-ass it, then you're not serious about your goal. All right? Second quarter, I want to do this, and this now. Okay. Again, these are small stepping stones toward the big picture. So set a great time management system for yourself to say, you're essentially tracking your progress. Boom, I'm going to have this done by this date. Boom, I'm going to have that done by that date, and so on and so forth. But you have to stick to it.
See, I was just thinking of something, and it's just even looking at the new year and then looking at the close of this past year. When you're looking at a mindset of quarters, you start off that new year and everything is possible. And if you're going after things timely and putting that action that's necessary, and you're realistic and you're pursuing those things and you're benchmarking them throughout the year, you come to the holiday times and you're able to look back on that whole year and really truly embrace the things that you were able to accomplish. It's not just a holiday time to spend with friends and family, but it's celebrating your accomplishments.
Yeah.
And prepping for another great year to go after whatever you want to achieve.
Yeah, you're 100% right. I put up a post on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and LinkedIn today, and what it was a quote that I heard from another podcast, from the Addicted to Success podcast, hosted by Joel Brown. He was interviewing a gentleman named Alex, hold on, I have the tab open. Alex Eccles, that's what it was. And the quote was this: if you don't know where you want to be in 5 years, you're already there.
Whew.
You have to know where you want to go. And that doesn't mean necessarily in 5 years. It is great. In fact, it is recommended to have a 5-year outlook. Okay? But if you're just really cranking in and you're getting started, have a 1-year outlook. Where do you want to be at the end of 2016? Okay? You have to produce that vision. You have to produce a clarity for that vision. And if you don't, then you're already there. Because if you have no idea where you're going, you're already there. It's just plain and simple.
It's sad too, because
it is.
Think about how much of your life you're wasting away that you're not going after things, when really it's, again, taking the time out to plan and to really say, what do I want? What do I ultimately want? Don't let another year go by to stay exactly where you are. Because then now you're not living, you're existing.
Just existing. day by day, check by check, existence.
Then you can look at other people that may be around you that are going after their goals, and you're still in the same position that you were 5 years ago, and they are off doing this, and you're wondering, how did they get there? Or what steps did they take?
Mm-hmm.
They were constantly putting in that effort, putting in that work, placing those goals. And again, we don't understand. I think our mind can't oftentimes wrap around unless we really try to focus this. But if you don't have goals, what are you going to do with yourself? Where is your meaning? Where is your value? Because the things that you're going after add that value to you.
Yep. And it doesn't matter whether it's fitness, whether it's business, whether it's career, whether it's family, whatever it is. Produce a goal. You want to take a family vacation? Oh, that's a great story. I remember working at a job where I was selling vacations. All right, they were for the solicitation of timeshares, true indeed. Nonetheless, we had these highly discounted vacation packages that gave you like hotel stays, 3 days and 2 nights in Ramada Plaza Resorts and blah, blah, blah. And, in Orlando or Fort Lauderdale or Las Vegas or Williamsburg, Virginia. And a lot of times the people that I came across on the phone, it'd be, I want this, but we haven't been able to take a vacation for years. Why not? It's the money. And, well, did you have a goal to save some money to the side? So that, it doesn't matter if you take a vacation once per year or once every 5 years. But if you want to do something, then you have to put in the work. Save some dollars to the side. Then you look up 3-4 years from now, oh, wow, we can take a vacation. I witnessed it every single day on the phones.
Well, even to a certain point, we lived it. I remember there was a point in time where we didn't have a vacation for 7 years. That wasn't our focus. We wanted to do it, but we didn't make it a goal. We didn't make it a priority to where we would say, okay, you know what, let's go after this. And to a certain point, because we were so away from it and not actually having a goal to go after it, it seemed so distant.
Yeah.
It seemed unattainable. And, when we did have the opportunity to get back onto it, it was like, we're not going to do this again. We have to make sure that we put in the effort to make that happen because it was just so enriching. It was something that I can't even put into words.
But we did it.
Yeah.
And we've been taking vacations. But that's just a small example. SMART goals. Do it. Specific. What do you want to achieve in your area of focus? Meaningful. Why is this goal important to you?
Action oriented. What steps will you take to achieve it? Realistic. How do you know that you're going to achieve this goal? And timely. By when do you want to achieve the goal?
Be smart. Set goals. Go for them. The Conquer Life Podcast. Available on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn, and SoundCloud.
Awesome.
Awesome. We will be back with you next week.
Lessons from Marcus Lemonis.
Yes.
Prophet.
Yes. It's going to be a great episode. Tune in, definitely. You have to. If not, you're going to miss out. You don't want to miss out, right?
No, you don't want to miss out.
We'll catch you on the next one.
We out?
We out.